Once you're getting close to finishing your multilingual site, the best way to check what items you have remaining to finish is by taking a look at the site in the language which is not the default. In this case, that's going to be Spanish. If we take a look around the site now, we're going to notice several things that haven't been fully translated. For example, the title of the site is only available in English. That may be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe if it's your company name, it's not going to change. But that's something that stands out to me. Then this module on the right-hand side, the side module, is only available in English at the moment. And some small things as well, such as the name of the login form on the right-hand side. What we're going to do is just show you how you can think about tidying up those last few items. Those are going to be in some odd little corners of the site. You may have to dig around in order to translate these final items. First, the site title. That can actually be translated in an area where we haven't been since the very beginning of the class. In the admin area of your site, you can go to Extensions and Languages and go to Content Languages. Click on Spanish. And there's going to be a couple of tabs that we haven't actually looked at yet. We saw this screen at the beginning of the class, but there's also metadata and site name. You can put in a custom site name specific to that language. May not be useful for all sites, but it is useful for this site. If I save it and refresh the site, I now have my site title in Spanish. Let's take a look at the modules. Side module first. I'm going to close out of this screen. I'm going to go to Extensions and Modules and Side module. There we go. Side module is towards the bottom of the page. I'm going to click on Side module. And let me set the language to be English specifically. And I'm going to click on Save as Copy. And I'm going to use my good friend Google Translate to quickly grab some Spanish text that I can use instead. There we go, we have some Spanish text. I'll set the status to unpublished. I'll set the language to Spanish, and remember there's no association available with modules. So let me click on Save and Close, and if I refresh the front of the site, we now see that there's the Spanish version of the module available. If I click on the English version of the site, we now have the English version. They're in a different order, so if I want to make this site exactly the same, I should probably come back to the module area of the site and I should reorder the modules. So English, the side module is at the top. Maybe if I drag the Spanish version up a little higher. Let me see. Okay, maybe I need to click on Noticias, and maybe if I change the ordering manually, okay, I'll put it lower down the page. Click Save. And the English version, the side module, and the blog posts are the top two. On the Spanish, now I need to put the login form a little bit lower, just to make sure the ordering is the same. And we'll get there eventually. Drag the login form down. It wasn't exactly what we were hoping for, but at least it's in the same order now. We have the login form, the side module, and the blog posts in Spanish. And if we switch over to English, we have them in the same order there. We are left with an issue in Spanish, however. The login form module still has login form across the top of the page. What we need to do is go to the login form module, and I'm going to specifically set this module to be English. I'm going to click on Save, and I'll click on Save as Copy. And let me put something a little more generic. We'll use this as the Spanish name. We'll set this to be published. For the language, we'll choose Spanish, of course. And hopefully now, this is something that a Spanish user would see and recognize. And if we browse around the site using the non-default language, we should see that the entire site has been translated successfully into Spanish.